Good morning to you, Phil. Chad calling from the XL. It's 5 a.m. I was going to pull the ripcord at 2 a.m. I was tired. We got on a little bit of a drift. A couple more bluefin came in. Not for me yet, but I stayed up and I kept going. I believe the total is from the XL. We have 9 bluefin, 1 warmer jammer, and 2 socks. I believe the warmer jammer and the 2 socks are low ounce, not what we caught. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get my bluefin.
All right, I'm getting ready to set up for the MB. Let's see what these surf fishing guys are doing. A 70-pound yellowtail we've got on the MB. We'll get you all up to date. Oh, a biter there. We'll get you up to date on what's going on. I think it came off on the Bluefin Tuna Zone. We'll be watching that for you very, very closely. And we'll also be checking out the local islands, the rockfish, and everything else as we set up for the MB here in beautiful Surfside, California. Oh, I see a fish in there. Oh, we're going to have to look in here. I see something in there. Oh, man, I can't get this thing open. This takes a much more talented person than me. Can't put my camera down. Am I going to bug this guy to help me here? Yeah. Hold on, everybody. We got to look in here. Oh, I got it. Miracles will never cease. I can't believe it. Oh, there we go. We can just... Whoa, he's got a whole bunch of yellowfin croaker in there. That is for sure. He's been putting the wood to him here. Whoa. Man, I'd like to get a better look here. Really, really good stuff. I'll get to the MB here in a moment. Oh, thank you.
A lot.
A lot, huh?
Lot of fish.
Oh. Oh my God. Very good. Hey, congratulations. All right, fantastic. All right, let's get back to the MB, everybody. They are nibbling down here. Looks good. I'll be right back.
Invited to join us on a reverse 2.5-day trip on board the beautiful Apollo out of 22nd Street Landing, departing June the 11th at 10 a.m. Wow, does that give us incredible range, and returning 7 p.m. on June the 13th. This is going to be a great fish. It's got all kinds of possibilities, from bluefin tuna to white sea bass to halibut and so much more. Friedman Adventures Charters puts you in the fish. Make sure you text us today so you can get on a trip, and you just might catch the fish of your dreams. Friedman Adventures Charter, 657-227-6459.
What a fish! Yeah!
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. This beautiful Tuesday morning. Is it great to be with you, or what? Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend some moments with me. I've got surf fishing guys right behind me to entertain you during the morning briefing. Hopefully they'll catch some fish, as you can see on the lead, and got a nice bucket full of fish over there, so things are headed in the right direction here in the surfing. As I've been mentioning to you, it's been very active with birds picking and so much more. A 70-pound yellowtail on board the Independence. What a fish. We'll get you caught on up what they are doing. Danny Cadota is down in the Bay of L.A. We'll check that out. First blue marlin of the season in Cabo San Lucas. We'll be checking on that and the bluefin tuna situation. Well, Chad Christopher Klein. He's a really integral part of the Friedman Adventures family. You saw him on the lead-in. He looked really tired. Man, he's putting his time in at the rail and working hard. He updated you on the XL. I'll have further information on what is going on with the bluefin tuna bite. Some of the fleet is going to make a big move and try to get on some big fish. So we'll get you up to date on that. And of course, we'll cover the local scene, the islands, and so much more. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, is that good? It is so great to be with you. If you don't mind, hit that like button, share these videos with a friend, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel, click that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. And also, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, on TikTok, and Apple Podcast and Spotify. Really great to be with you all. We still have a red tide here. You can see that chocolate-looking water, but the fish are nibbling in it, and that is good to see. Also, don't forget, if you have tax problems, check it out. Our friend Tim Marquez, he's been doing this for 35 years. Give Tim a call today. And also, heating and or air conditioning needs. John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. All right, let's get into it with you all. And we are going to start at the Independence. She is down there around the Lejos Rocks, cranking on the big yellowtail. A 70-pound yellowtail yesterday on board the Independence. It doesn't get any better than that. Is a magnificent catch. And several fish up over 50 pounds are having another great 8-day trip on board the Independence as they are putting the wood to them down there. They've had good yellowfin tuna fishing yesterday, or day before yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit slow on the YFT, but good yellow action, good yellowfin tuna action, and really some remarkable catches with that 70-pounder. My hat's off to all you folks on the Independence. Keep up the great work. Down in Cabo San Lucas, first blue marlin of the year. There it is. That signals a lot of good stuff to come. We'll continue to watch that for you very closely. Our dear friend Danny Cadota from the Danny Cadota Show right here on Friedman Adventures is down in the Bay of LA, and Danny is putting the wood to the yellowtail, and of course he's enjoying the local cuisine and having a really great time with Steve Yatomi down there. It sounds like an absolute ball. So they are having fun. We'll move you 70 miles down below the Baja Peninsula to the coastal town of Ensenada. It's a beautiful drive to get down there. And the bluefin tuna are biting. It's looking pretty good for our dear friend Berenice Soto. And she had a nice bluefin tuna. They had a double jig strike on the BFT fishing with our friend Foca. So the bluefin continued to entertain down there. It's not totally consistent on that bluefin tuna, but it is good enough. Every time you leave and get out and start dragging lures around, you got a very good chance of coming up with a bluefin tuna or two. So that is fantastic news there at Botes Juanitos, and the Juanitos Fishing Club is doing great with Berenice and Norma, and of course, Paulina, my co-host when I am in Mexico. All of them combining to catch some bluefin tuna here recently, and that is great news for everybody in Ensenada. If you're headed down there, remember to bring some heavy tackle, because the guys from Baja Fishing started to catch some much bigger grade bluefin tuna. It's been mostly that 20 to 40 pound stuff, fish to 60, but now we're starting to see some much bigger fish. So hang on, everybody. It's looking really good right now, and we hope that it's going to continue down there in the beautiful coastal town of Ensenada, Baja California. All right, let's talk about San Diego bluefin tuna, as we have been watching that for you very, very closely. The last couple of nights have been really hit and miss on, well, let me describe it to you this way. There's two zones. There's a zone where you catch more fish, but they're smaller. And that zone 48 hours ago was humming along and biting very, very well. Now that sputtered last night quite a bit. You saw Chad on board the XL. They only had 5 fish, I think it was. They saw some fish, but they just couldn't get it to bite. So I just got some info in from the XL a second ago, and they have heard about that bigger fish to the west of them. And I'm talking the Mushroom Bank and the Butterfly Bank. For those of you who are familiar with such areas, those areas, by the way, are easy range of LA Orange County-based boats. And that's where there was some catching going on that big grade bluefin tuna. 100, 150, 200-pound bluefin tuna. A little bit bigger fish up there. XL is en route. We'll be there at 12 noon today. Take a look at it in daytime and hopefully get a bite tonight. And Chad, you know I'm pulling for you, man. I know, I don't have to say it. You are going to get a big fish tonight. Guaranteed, Chad. Gotta believe in positivity. And I know Chad's going to pull that off. Spirit of adventure with some nice bluefin tuna. Several other boats have been getting in on it. The Apollo the other night fishing this zone where the XL is headed to. And don't forget, we got that 2.5-day trip. I think we have one spot open on that trip. But we have that 2.5-day trip headed to that zone probably. A lot of stuff can change before June 11th. But they had 19 fish, and check that out. That's the deck of the Apollo at a 22nd Street landing. That is some magnificent fishing. You have got to love that. Don't forget about the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing. They've got so many great trips for you all. And we are going to do another trip with the El Patron on June the 24th. It's $175. It leaves at 5 a.m. and we're going to come back late at 7:30 p.m. That gives us range to do a lot. Maybe go to Santa Barbara Island. Who knows? Maybe something offshore pops up. It gives us the range we'll need. You can book that trip by going to www.longbeachsportfishing.org, or you can book any other trip with them also. I wonder if we have a fish here. Doesn't look like. Maybe. We'll see. I love it, man. We got entertainment here in the background. So some really big fish in one zone, smaller fish in another. Was down a little bit on that smaller grade fish. That can pop right back up again. We'll see what happens here as we go along. All right, the San Diego fishing full day out of beautiful C4 Sport Fishing in San Diego had 7 bluefin tuna yesterday. That might be one of their best scores so far this season. It's not for not seeing a lot of fish. They have been seeing tons of fish on a regular basis, but it seems like they're even starting to see more, and it's starting to bite a little bit better. Mixed up with that big grade bonita, it's been pretty darn interesting to see this develop. It's just a little bit slow to develop this year. And yeah, we got a little ray or something like that back there. It looks like a round stingray. So a little slow to develop. So hopefully it's going to kick into gear here very, very soon. We're watching that very closely. 7 on the bluefin tuna on board the San Diego, leaving in the morning, coming back that very same evening. That's a good signal inside. Needless to say, you got to have heavy tackle on all these trips. 40-pound to fly line with, 80-pound to sinker rig fish with, 100 to 130-pound spectra, and 200-pound bite leaders are really going to save your life. Knowing what depth your jig is at is essential to your success. So make sure you have colored line, or you've taken the trouble and time and trouble to mark with a Sharpie or something like that, so you know that every 100 feet where your jig is at. And hopefully we're going to see some of that big fish here tonight. I know a lot of boys are headed in that direction, including the XL and Chad Christopher. We'll keep you in touch with the very latest on that. All right, let's talk islands. Coronado Islands, a little bit of yellowtail down there in that area. We've seen some yellows at the Coronado Islands. Hopefully that is going to continue. And again, most of that fish have been anywhere from 12 to 15 pounds, some smaller, some bigger, some surface ironfish, some yo-yo ironfish, and mostly fly line sardine has been the way to make it happen. So backing that up, we also have plenty of rockfish down there in that neck of the woods, so that is also very good news. Again, as we move you up to San Clemente Island, we have seen some nice yellowtail. Check that fish out on board the Thunderbird. They've been catching some nice big ones. Recently, they had a score of 19 yellowtail. There's also some halibut there and plenty of rockfish to help fill in, and a little bit of calico bass. Springtime, slowly but surely, starting to happen at Catalina Island. Last trip on the pursuit, they had 7 halibut and 1 white sea bass. They're at it again today. We'll see what they come up with. They back those kind of catches up with rockfish there, and it's been pretty good on the rockfish. A little bit of bonita and calico bass. We've seen yellows over there, as we have mentioned. There has been a few halibut, 1 white sea bass. There's some squid being made at Catalina Island now. Place is looking pretty good. Hasn't clicked into gear quite yet, but it's headed in the right direction, and there's nothing wrong with going home with all that great eating rockfish, no question about it. Don't forget to go back and watch Tackle Shop Confessions from last night. You are going to love it. That was a great show. Sam and I, Sam De La Torre at Island Fishing Tackle, just short of a 2.5-hour show. And the reason why it was is because we had so many people watching and so many questions, just a constant flow of questions coming in. We thank you so much for tuning in. Over 1,000 viewers. And again, all those great questions, that really says a lot about you. All right, Santa Barbara Island, there's been some sea bass and halibut there. San Nicolas Island, great rock fishing. Channel Islands, seen tons of white sea bass there, but those little devils don't want to bite. But spectacular rock fishing up there in that neck of the woods. And one of the best places to take advantage of fishing the Channel Islands is Ventura Sport Fishing. The Island Spirit does such a great job with skipper Daniel Hottaway. You want to get on the Island Spirit. We just had one of the best rockfish trips I've ever been on in my life. It was fantastic. Giant, big cod, and they were chewing up a storm. The Island Spirit out of Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing, 805 676-3474. Along the coast, there's a little bit of bass, but not much. Down in San Diego, actually, we've seen some pretty good bass fishing going on in that neck of the woods. A lot of guys, when they have chovy, are fishing that real light line and putting the wood to the calico bass. Israel de la Cruz the other day was out and caught some bass. The Daily Double has been catching some local bass. So there's a little bit of that going on. We see Marina del Rey with good nighttime twilight fishing down there around Dana Point. They're catching some bass down there in that neck of the woods, slowly but surely trying to happen on the bass bite. But mostly, predominantly, we're looking at rockfish for the coastal guys, sculpin, whitefish, sheephead, and then rockfish to go along with it. And as I say, I'm a nut for rock fishing. I love catching rockfish, especially the grade and the quality that we had on the Island Spirit the other day. They're great eating, they're fun to catch, and man, there's a lot of them right now. So enjoy it while you can, because we'll swing over, hopefully here pretty soon, into a summertime bite with bass and barracuda, bonito, and yellows. Man, I can't wait for that to click into gear. So that is what we're looking at. Surf fishing's been pretty darn good here recently. We're proudly brought to you by Big Fish Bait and Tackle down on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. Pretty good, as you can see by this gentleman back here. You saw his bucket of fish. He's putting the wood to the yellowfin croaker here this morning. There's also been some spotfin croaker. And my God, you look at that water and you would think there's no way anything's biting in that chocolate-looking water. But previous to me showing up and putting the black cloud on him, I don't know that he's caught anything since I got here, but he's got a nice bucket of fish, and these guys have been putting the wood to him with great regularity here on the beach. There's some halibut biting up and down the coast, lucky craft type lures, or small chrome jig Castmaster, or a crocodile also works good up in the Santa Monica Basin. Pretty good bar perch fishing down towards San Diego. We see similar down there for Glenn Saldivar and Honey Badger Beach. Glenn, it was great to see you the other day at the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club. That was a lot of fun. And also, we continue to start to see a little bit more Corbina right now, as that is starting to come together. Down there at Big Fish Bait and Tackle, they've got a derby going on for the largest halibut this month. You should participate because it's free, and you can win a gorgeous custom surf fishing rod. I highly recommend that you give that a try. All you do is get your ruler down there at Big Fish Bait and Tackle, and you're in the game. And you'll get all the details of how to participate when you go to Big Fish Bait and Tackle. So some pretty good and brisk surf fishing action. All right, what can I tell you? 70-pound yellowtail on the Independence. That is a fantastic catch. And also, we continue to watch this bluefin, big fish in a new area that's biting pretty good. The Apollo with a great catch the other day. Several other boats got in on it last night. XL steaming toward it right now. Danny Cadot in the Bay of LA having a lot of fun down there. And Berenice and our friends from Botes Juanitos catching bluefin tuna in Ensenada. We'll watch all of that and so much more as we continue to keep you in touch with all the latest. And of course, we'll have other features and great shows right here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Thanks for checking in, and as always, I hope to see you really, really soon.